The room went silent when I said the first sentence. Not polite silence, not judicial patience, the kind that snaps your spine straight and drains the color from faces. My voice didn't shake. That surprised even me. The judge's pen paused mid-scratch. My father stopped smiling. The air smelled like old paper and disinfectant, the kind of place where truths go to die quietly. My palms were flat on the cold wood of the defense table. I could feel my heartbeat there, steady, measured, like I'd rehearsed it in another life. "I will be entering Exhibit A," I said, and my father's laugh cut off like a wire pulled from a wall. That's where it started for them, but for me, it started years earlier. He taught me early how to smile while cutting someone open. At home, he called it discipline. In public, he called it love. In private, he called me a mistake. The lawsuit was his idea. Breach of contract, he said. Theft of intellectual property. Big words for a simple crime. I left. I took nothing but my notebooks and the last of my pride. He wanted me dragged back into his orbit, bankrupt or obedient, preferably both. He hired a firm with glass walls and leather chairs. I got a folding chair and a borrowed suit. When I told him I'd represent myself, he laughed like I'd told a joke at my own funeral. "You're too poor to hire a lawyer," he said, loud enough for the clerk to hear. "Pathetic." The murmurs agreed. Pity is louder than applause. I didn't correct him. I didn't look at him. I wrote one word in my notebook and underlined it twice. Proceed. By the third hearing, the pressure was intentional. His attorney spoke slowly, indulgently, like explaining math to a child. My father leaned back, arms crossed, enjoying the performance. Every glance he gave me was a reminder. I made you. I can erase you. He mocked my filings. He objected to my questions. He smiled when the judge reminded me to stick to procedure. Inside, something feral paced. Outside, I breathed. I had learned long ago that rage is loud, control is lethal. When he leaned over during a recess and whispered, "This ends with you owing me everything," I smiled back. I already knew how it ended. I had written the ending weeks ago. I had spent nights in a public library, fingers numb, eyes burning, reading case law like scripture. I memorized timelines. I mapped signatures. I followed money the way hunters follow blood. Not to where it wanted to be seen, but where it slipped when no one was watching. He underestimated me because he always had. That was the gift he never realized he gave. I let him think I was scrambling. I let his attorney correct me. I let them file motions with confidence that bordered on arrogance. Every mistake they made, I logged. Every document they rushed, I copied. There's a moment before a storm breaks when everything feels still. That was the morning of the final hearing. My father wore his favorite tie, the one he wore when he closed deals, the one he wore when he lied. When the judge nodded for me to proceed, I stood. My knees didn't tremble. My hands didn't fidget. I spoke like someone reading a confession they didn't regret. "My father claims I stole proprietary material," I said. "What he didn't disclose is that the material in question was filed under my name, notarized, and transferred into his company without my consent." I held up the document. A flicker crossed his face. Not fear, recognition. I continued. Dates, amounts, email headers, the shell corporation he forgot existed, the severance agreement he forged, the internal memo that contradicted his sworn testimony. Sentence by sentence, the room changed. The judge leaned forward. The attorney stopped objecting. My father's jaw tightened. When I played the audio, his voice casual, instructing an accountant to clean it up, someone gasped. I didn't look at him when I said that constitutes fraud. I didn't need to. He stood then, too fast, too loud. "This is a stunt," he snapped. He's always been dramatic. The judge silenced him with a hand. For the first time in my life, my father was told to sit down. He didn't. The bailiff stepped closer. Power is a fragile thing. Once it cracks, it shatters. The ruling didn't take long. Dismissal, referral, sanctions, words that fell like dominoes. His attorney whispered furiously. My father stared at me like he was seeing a ghost he'd buried himself. As the courtroom emptied, he finally spoke to me. "You planned this," he said. I met his eyes, calm, clear. "I survived you," I said. "Planning was easy."